What is your understanding and what is your advice that a young person who is 18 or 21 just started earning?
Yes, you are in the age of instant gratification, but the stock markets are not here for instant gratification. Have patience if you're a young guy who's just started earning. Plan for your retirement right now.
BSE, that is the Bombay Stock Exchange, and NSE, that is the National Stock Exchange. What is the difference between these two? What is the minimum duration that company can be listed in the market? What is the shortest period of time that if a startup is getting founded today? So what is that ball game? Hi, this is Indranil and welcome to the Spotlight Beyond Profession. शेयर मार्केट, इक्विटी मार्केट, आजकल तो हर बच्चा भी जानता है कि शेयर मार्केट में पैसा लगाना चाहिए, ये इक्विटी मार्केट होता क्या है. बट क्या शेयर मार्केट एक शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए होता है या लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव है? सो टू अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक एंड द रियल अंडरस्टैंडिंग बिहाइंड द शेयर मार्केट एंड द इक्विटी मार्केट, टुडे वी आर हैविंग ए गेस्ट एज आकाश गुप्ता फ्रॉम Sykes Ray Equities Limited. So in this podcast and through this podcast, we'll try to understand about equity market and how the share market or how the IPO moves और IPO कैसे launch किया जाता है और IPO launch करने का process होता क्या है. So please watch this podcast till the end so that you can have all the ideas regarding all this. And before that, I would like to request you to please subscribe this channel, The Spotlight Beyond Profession, so that you can have all the insights and all the updates from our end. So please watch the podcast till the end. So first of all, thank you very much for giving us your time. I know it's a very busy schedule for you, but thank you very much for coming to our studio. And welcome to our show, The Spotlight Beyond Profession. In this podcast, we'll try to cover up more about your journey. And obviously today you are under the spotlight. So we call it Beyond Profession because we will try to uncover that field as well, that how you started and what was your journey. So before deep dive into the podcast, first question I want to ask you that, can you please tell us the difference between BSE, that is the Bombay Stock Exchange, and NSE, that is the National Stock Exchange? What is the difference between these two?
Okay, so if you have to go back in history, BSE is Asia's oldest stock exchange. BSE was started on a desk in Horniman Circle by this Parsi gentleman, and from there it just kept growing. People started becoming aware of it. The whole ring system back in the day also was BSE. So you can say BSE is like the landmark of Bombay in a way. NSE understood from BSE what all is going on in the market, and they came up with their own exchange, which is a little more, you can say, people are a little more skewed towards NSE because they were the first people to launch future and options.
Okay.
So that's why NSE saw immense volumes in trading, etc. Even though the stocks were listed on both exchanges, again, there are two exchanges competing with each other in a way. They're coexisting, they're learning from each other, they're growing. Each of them have their own sets of, pros and cons. And that's how they've been growing. I mean, there's no major difference as of now. It's just that NSE has a larger volume of clients trading on the exchange, whereas BSE is now building that volume at a very fast growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So कोई भी कंपनी अगर लिस्ट करना चाहते हैं, so what is their preference? They want to list on the NSE or they want to list on the BSE?
So see, this is where the catch is. BSE was one of the first movers to list SMEs. They came up with this whole SME IPO concept, which allowed companies with a very small market cap to get listed. So if I'm going for an SME IPO, I can have a market cap of 100 crores, 80 crores and get listed. NSE was parallelly working on it, but they moved a little later. Like people recognized NSE as a platform to get listed as a SME much later. So definitely BSE has far more companies listed on BSE than NSE does.
Okay.
But when a company is looking to get listed, generally they look at both exchanges.
Okay.
Because they want to capture maximum volume from both sides.
Okay.
So there's no preference as such. Each exchange has their own process.
So can it be done simultaneously?
Yes, it's done simultaneously. So each exchange has its own process of approving. Sometimes BSE may approve your IPO before NSE does.
Okay.
So you either wait till it's listed on both exchanges or you get it simultaneously listed, etc. It works like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, as I was talking to you previously, that we have a lot of founders and startup in today's time, and the maximum of the people, they are aspiring to list in the stock market. So can you please describe something that what is the process of a founder to get listed? Whatever the down the line it is, it may take 5 years, 10 years, and what is the shortest period of time that if a startup is getting founded today, that what is the minimum duration that that company can be listed in the market?
Okay. So I will give you the entire chronology from the birth of the company till it gets listed.
That will be fantastic.
The first time you come up with an idea to get to start a company, listing is miles ahead. Like it's a possibility. It's not. It could happen, could not happen.
Yes.
The first thing you think of is, okay, fine, I want to start a business of my own, X, Y, Z, whatever. The first people who actually invest in your business are the people who are investing in you and not your business. They are betting their money on you. That, okay, I know this person, he's ethical, he does good business, he has business sense, the product which he's trying to sell is good. For example, I'm going to start a business of selling a pen which has a very different color that no one else has. People will understand, okay, fine, he's thinking invest. Those are your angel investors, your friends, family who are putting in money. They're called angels for a reason.
Yes.
After that stage is crossed, then once the company starts making money, etc., or if the ball keeps rolling, you reach a stage in your business where you're like, okay, fine, I need to grow to a much bigger stage. To grow to that much bigger stage, I need capital. How do I get that capital? Either I go back to the angels again, tell them, look, I want to go from point A to point B. I need some more money to do that. If you can give me some money, I am happy to take it and give you some share of my company as well. That is a very normal way of doing it. The more challenging way and more systematic way to do that is going to a VC. Now, a VC will not give you money just like that. They won't give you money on your personal brand. They will give you money based on your business. You can have the best name in the market, but your business can be absolute trash. But if your business is good and your name is somewhat okay, they will be okay. They'll be like, okay, fine, your numbers are fine. You could be a loss-making company right now, but we know how to channel this in such a way so you become profitable. Or if you're already profitable, we can make you more profitable. We can connect you to the right people. Or, for example, they may have listed companies looking for people like me to take over. So VCs will want that first mover's advantage, that they will buy your company, they'll take a stake in your company and then go and sell it to a listed company whole and soul. So they get their exit, the angels get their exit, I get my exit. So multiple companies have done that, where these big companies have taken over these sort of businesses. For example, Marico has taken over a lot of businesses like this. And even Nestle has taken over a lot of businesses like this. When you can't relate to that crowd, you buy the company that is doing that. It costs very less for that company, and it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Right.
So that's where VCs come in. Now you must have heard Series A funding, Series B funding, Series C funding.
Yes.
These series are basically to spread the pool of your ownership and to get more money, give exit. For example, if I have 10 founders, or like if I have some investors who want an exit, I will look for people, okay, fine, you want to take a stake in the company, I'm okay to sell it to you at this valuation, etc., etc. And then accordingly, I dilute my stake. Now, when you are in that's a very crucial phase in your business, whether you have to realize that, do I need to continue to dilute my stake, or do I want to move towards an IPO?
Okay.
Because either I'm looking for an exit via these companies that buy me out, or I'm looking for an exit via the public route. There are two ways. Or the third is that I can continue to do my business the way it is, which 90% of Indians are doing. If you see these shops
All family businesses.
family
they are majorly,
businesses.
yes.
They are very happy that they don't want to do their extra compliance. Their house is running. They're growing their business.
Yes.
They're facing challenges. It's fine. They don't want to get into that whole trap of they want to continue to create that legacy
Yes.
that a family member takes over, etc., etc.,
Yes.
which is the normal mentality that we have. So these are the various roadmaps. Now, if I choose to get acquired, then my chances for an IPO are never there. If I'm being acquired, then probably a company that is already listed in the stock market is acquiring me. If I choose to get acquired, then my VC contacts a merchant banker.
Okay.
Merchant bankers or private equity players, they are like the big daddies. They are much bigger than these VC funds, etc. They don't pick up a small stake in your company. They won't pick up 2 crores, 3 crores worth of stake. They'll just come in and buy out probably half your company, probably 60% of your company.
Yes.
Or 30% of your company. Those are the people that then sell their stake in the market when it gets listed. So private equity players, so first you have VCs, then you have private equity players who then connect you to merchant bankers who help you get listed. So that is the whole process. And people may think listing is, like a milestone in someone's business. It is not easy to get listed because luckily we have a very good regulator in our country, SEBI, which asks you that one very important reason of getting listed. Why do you want to get listed?
Okay.
What is the reason you want to get listed? What will you do with the money? Do you have a proper plan? And if you have a proper plan, who are your vendors? Where are you spending that money? How are you spending that money? Because at the end of the day, this is going to be public money. So you are fully responsible for public money coming to you. So they want to know your exact plan. And if you're not going as per plan, you have to report that to SEBI. So they are like, hawks eyeing you on a daily basis as to what you're doing. So sometimes people think, एक बार list हो गया तो अपना काम खत्म हो गया. It is not like that. You are following very strict compliance quarterly, monthly, daily, annually, semi-annually, you name it, and it's happening.
Okay.
So it is very, very, it's not as easy as people think it is. एक बार list हो गया तो काम हो गया. No. After listing, there are so many things that a company has to do, like, corporate actions, making sure your annual reports are going on time, the kind of people you're hiring, every single thing is documented. And it cannot go beyond a certain threshold of timelines, because after that you start getting penalized heavily. Then it's not like a 5,000 rupee penalty, 10,000, then it's like crores of penalty coming to the company, and that's a lot for a company to lose.
What can be the shortest time period if a company is trying to get listed?
See, if you are very serious about getting listed, I would say on an average you can take up to a year and a half.
एक साल में listing किया जा सकता है.
If you, I'm not talking from the birth to the listing. I'm talking that if you're already in the business for the last 10 years and you have good credibility, because see, sometimes you can have a successful listing, sometimes you can have a very unsuccessful listing.
Yes.
You can go out in the market, but the public doesn't know you, so they'll not apply for your IPO.
Yes.
And then you have a failed listing, and then
So you need to build that credibility.
You need
so
to
that
build
people
that
should,
credibility.
People
Now,
should
for
get
example, today if a Tata launches a subsidiary company, which is not listed but is going to get listed, looking at the Tata name, listening to the Tata name, they'll not think twice. Okay, Tata की company है, पैसा डालो, जो होगा देखेंगे. Reliance की subsidiary company आ रही है, पैसा डालो, जो होगा देखेंगे. So that is when they've built credibility. Mahindra and Mahindra also, when they came up with their financial company, when Reliance came up with Jio, when Tata, of course, there are multiple other companies that they've come with, like Tata Motors, Tata Elixir. All these companies have got very high traction in the IPO market just solely because of their brand name. But for example, like recently, Lenskart did not see the kind of traction that they were expecting. It's quite contrary to what we assumed would happen and what actually happened. A lot of questions were raised about that specific IPO and about the entire startup industry.
I just want to cover that area as well, because if we talk about the startup IPOs in recent past, in not more than 1 year, even we talk about, maximum startups were in the losses. But they are showing the valuation in thousands of crores, and they are getting a fantastic IPO. People are subscribing on 28 times, 17 times sometimes. So what is that ball game? A company which was a loss making, and for a consecutively it was a loss making, but suddenly they show profits and suddenly they get listed and getting a good response.
See, this is like a accounting
Manipulation.
technique, I would say. I would not use the word manipulation. I would use the word technique. From my experience, it's not just one company. There are thousands of companies that have been loss making, and just before coming for an IPO, they show profits to woo the potential
So
investors.
as you said that there is a strong regulation in our country. So जब हमारे पास इतना अच्छा strong regulator है, जब उनको दिख रहा है पिछले 3 साल से कंपनी लॉस मेकिंग है, and they are filing for the IPO and they are projecting their company should be valued this much. So what is this? Because अगर कोई लॉस मेकिंग है और वो किस तरीके से अपने कंपनी के वैल्यूएशन को प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं?
Okay, so before coming for an IPO, they show some sort of profits, and on those profits, they are able to understand the valuation of the company based on the price that other people have it at already before the IPO, the price that they project themselves to be at, and then they give a proper report by a consultant, etc., which a very even like SEBI understands that if you're going to like an EY or a Bain and Company or any of these big top folk giants in the world who are able to understand your valuation and then give you a full report on that, then of course in that those are credible sources. But even then after that, our markets are smarter than everyone that you can think of in who are listed. Like the public, people really undermine the public potential, because when, for example, Zomato, fantastic company, when it got listed, it crashed like anything, because people are like, you don't know the market. You first understand the market. You're very new to the market. You're not even 10 years in the market. If you see, I don't think 10 years ago we were ordering from Zomato, were we?
Yes,
We were not.
no.
Yeah. So you're still new to the market. You're still new to this industry, and for you to come up with an IPO like that is a very bold decision. So we completely support you, but we are skeptical as whether your businesses will work or not. And now Zomato is going up again because they realized that, I don't know if they realized or what, but the market responds to consistency. If you're consistently growing and not showing abnormal profits all of a sudden or abnormal losses all of a sudden, the market understands it. And then they take positions in the stocks. So that's how the ball game is basically. We think that the companies are doing something, but I personally feel that the public has the mind to change things around. For now, for example, FIIs are pulling out money from India, but the public is pumping in more money in India. They're like, we understand the Indian market. We understand the India growth story. We understand how many jobs are being created every day. So whatever people do doesn't matter to us. We know the future. That's...
And now I want to ask you that हम लोग जब भी कोई लिस्टिंग देखते हैं वहाँ पे एक प्राइस बैंड होते हैं.
Correct.
312 से 327.
Correct.
So how this price band get decided?
So this is done by the merchant banker. So for example, just the vague example I'll give you. If I have 100% of the ownership of the company, I want to dilute, say I want to give out 30% ownership to the public.
Okay.
I want to give 30% of my ownership to, say, 2 lakh people. Then accordingly, I'll decide a price band. That if I'm giving to 1 lakh people, then of course the price band will increase.
Okay.
If I'm giving it to more people, the price band will decrease. So it basically shows that you have to be at a certain market cap. So based on the valuation, the market cap valuation that you're looking for.
मतलब अगर मोटा मैं आपको समझाऊं तो मेरी कंपनी 1000 करोड़ की है
जी,
मैं 30% डाइल्यूट करना चाहता हूं तो 300 करोड़ हुआ
जी.
अब ये 300 करोड़ मैं 2000 शेयर अलॉट करना चाहता हूं मार्केट में. सो 2000 डिवाइडेड बाय 300 करोड़, दैट विल बी माय प्राइस बैंड.
करेक्ट. दैट्स हाउ इट वर्क्स. अगर 2000 है तो 5000 है तो 10,000 है तो 1 लाख. तो जैसे ना माय IPOs ओवर सब्सक्राइब बाय 20 टाइम्स 30 टाइम्स. मैं गया था 3000 लोग के लिए, लेकिन
10,000 लोगों ने
अप्लाई कर दिया. वैसे
फिर उसमें कैसे अलॉटमेंट मिलता है?
Then it's basically lottery system. There's no like specific guarantee that you'll get. In the last, I think 10 years of me applying for IPOs, out of all the IPOs I've applied, I think I must have got at least, I must have just got like I think 4 or 5 allotments. Even though being in the business, it's not everyone's thing, like you get it, you don't get it, so you apply in everyone's accounts at home. एक जन को तो मिलेगा, like that's how it is.
कभी कभी हम ये सुनते हैं, जैसे अभी रिसेंटली टाटा कैपिटल का IPO आया था.
Yes.
सो देयर वॉज ए नॉर्म फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट दैट अगर आपकी कंपनी इतने साल तक ये काम कर रहे हैं और इतने अगर आपके वैल्यूएशन हो गया है तो आपको शेयर मार्केट में लिस्टिंग करना ही है. देयर इज अ मैंडेटरी गेम. सो व्हाट इज दैट गेम?
So that those are for NBFCs.
Okay.
So if an NBFC is a non-banking financial corporation.
Yes.
If they reach a certain market cap, if they have a certain value, then SEBI is like, you have to get listed. And you have to get listed within a certain stipulated time. So this was actually in the pre-IPO market, which is also a very big market running parallelly to the stock markets. Tata Capital shares in the pre-IPO market were being sold as high as 1200 rupees a share. And when the IPO came out, it came out at around 300, something like that.
Yes, yes.
So because this rule came out last year or last to last year, that SEBI said you have to get listed come what may. So all the companies, these finance companies that were doing and that had their own NBFC had to get listed by September or October. That's why last September, October was when the IPO came out.
In today's time, lot of young generation, they are majorly into the equity market because they are in hurry for everything. And they understand that equity market is for a short gain, immediate gain rather. So what is your understanding and what is your advice that a young person who is 18 or 21 just started earning or maybe not started earning, getting something from their family and they are investing it, how much it is good for them to be on the 100% on the equity market? Because I know a lot of youngsters, they have some online platforms who are daily in the stock market and they feel that we will buy stock and we will be rich soon. So what is your advice for those people? How you want to address them?
So see, we live in this current age of instant gratification.
Yes.
पहले क्या था कि हम लोग जब खाना भी ऑर्डर करते थे तो वी टू कॉल कि भाई खाना भेजो, फिर वो फ़ोन लेता था, आदमी साइकिल पे आके डिलीवर करता था.
अभी सब 10 मिनट में चाहिए.
अभी सब 10 मिनट में चाहिए. Imagine like you are able to get everything on your fingertips, from like clothes to like food to like groceries, and everything is instant gratification. So because the mentality of the current generation, which is now budding, is instant gratification. Like earlier we used to wait for a movie to come on TV, and now with the click of a button it's all available. It is very difficult to change that mindset of theirs. We have to move as fast as they do. Because if we don't move as fast as they do, there'll be someone else who comes up with something who's moving as fast as they do. My advice to these people is that yes, you are in the age of instant gratification, but the stock markets are not here for instant gratification. Because if you come to the stock markets thinking that it is a get rich quick scheme, you are making other people rich by your foolishness of thinking like that. Because I will find people like you who are making mistakes like this, and I'll take the complete opposite, do the complete opposite of what you're doing and make money out of it. So if you are a young person, you have the risk taking capacity. You have time on your hand. I would strongly recommend leave that headache of deciding on to someone else. And put your money in a mutual fund. Let someone else do the work for you. And right now, mutual funds are giving fantastic returns. If I was showing a client day before yesterday, in fact, some of my students where I teach in university, that they were born around 2008, 2007, they were born. And I asked them that, when you were born, imagine if your parents had put just 10,000 rupees for you in any of the defense companies right now. Where would you be? BEL, for example, was trading at I think 0.40 paisa. Today it's trading at 400 and some 30 rupees. So my 10,000 rupees were just given to you that time. Here you would be swimming in money. So it takes time, it takes patience. There's a cyclical process. Companies grow, companies come up with new policies. For example, right now HDFC Bank, from what I've heard, is hiring 10,000 new people every year. And the old people still continue to be there. They're launching new ATMs, like new branches, you name it, and they're having it. And not just one bank, all banks are doing this, all companies are growing. For example, motor companies also, they are coming up with new things every year. Every new brands are coming, new models are coming up. Like Mahindra, who would have thought Mahindra would have had such a fantastic looking car on the road? We always thought Mahindra to be that one, that Sawari wala vehicle ki yahan se wahan leke jayega, that Bolero, or that, that
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
No one ever thought owning a Mahindra would be cool.
Yes.
That took over 15-20 years. for Mahindra and Mahindra to reach where it is right now. So if you think कि आज मैंने पैसा दिया है और कल जाके they'll launch a space rocket, it's not going to happen. You have to understand how businesses function. The growth phase takes time. Trust the system, trust our growth story, trust the fact that India's economy is just growing, and trust the fact that Indians, the entire Indian population is not investing in the stock market. From the Indian population, I think only like 3 or 4% of the Indian population is investing in the stock market right now.
Yes.
So the potential, if it grows just up by 2 more percent, what are we seeing? Like, where are we seeing the markets going? We'll be scaring away all the FIIs who thought India is like a done story. So have patience. If you're a young guy who's just started earning, plan for your retirement right now. Because you don't want to be buying things on EMI, and when you're not able to pay, you end up selling things that are actually valuable like gold, etc. for your EMIs that are like white goods that may perish tomorrow. So start saving for your retirement the day you start earning, because on the day of your retirement is the day you'll stop earning, and inflation will catch up to such a large level that you won't be able to afford half the things with that mindset otherwise.
You are second generation in your business.
Yeah.
So how you grew up in that environment where finance is everything and every day is talk about. So can you please tell us something about your growing up stage?
I think since I was in school, it was kind of ingrained into us that this is a family business and we will need your help in the future, etc. And there's so much scope. We'll give you a lot of room for creativity to come up with your own ideas and, do things. Now, for me, I always thought that, okay, I'll go work somewhere and, I'll earn some money outside and start my own life. Then there was in one of these broker conferences, one guy did the math with me and told me, either you die and completely like ragada yourself to earn your first million, or you know how to make $1 billion into $1 trillion. So you choose what you want. So that made a lot of sense that, there's a platform given. Of course, it comes with thousands of challenges.
Of course.
People think it's, you're given everything on a silver platter. It's not always that easy, because that's how much more responsibility you have.
Yes.
They've seen it from ground zero. We've seen it just like that. So it's difficult for us to match their level as well. So as a youngster, I remember when I was in boarding school, when I used to come back from my vacations, I mean, yes, I was part of some classes and all, but to while away time, sometimes I'll go to office with my dad. I'm not doing anything the full day. I was in boarding school, so half of my friends didn't even live in Bombay. So I used to go with my dad to office, sit there, have lunch with him. Some of my other family members were working in different departments. I used to go there, sit with them, just talk to them and observe what they're doing, the kind of orders they're punching, like the slips they're signing, the kind of compliance they're doing. So I picked up slowly from there. And then, of course, the employees also who've stuck with us since then, like they've seen me grow up in office. It kind of built a bond with them as well. So it felt very different, having that security of that bond, that communication with them, and then finding something new. So that's why we came into this business. So it's me and my two other cousins. So my dad and my uncle, like they started this, and then second generation is now like handing.
And majorly, what are the services your company is providing in today's time?
So we, of course, our core business is stockbroking. We help people plan for their future. For example, if you want to retire by the age of 60 and your current expense is at around like $1 lakh a month, factoring inflation, factoring your lifestyle, factoring the kind of change you want in your lifestyle, we come up with a corpus that on the day of your retirement, this is how much money you will need. And then working backward from there. The same thing is for your children's education, for your children's marriage, which is again a very big expense.
Yes.
Of course, now the trends are changing. When I'm making plans, when I'm sitting down and helping people make plans for the current generation who've just had kids, they're like, look, we had a very fancy wedding. We don't want that anymore for our children. We'll either get them educated or get them married. That's up to them. We also want to enjoy the money we've made. So these kind of things we're doing. And then, of course, people who are holding stock, we help them lend their stock in the market through this platform of NSE and BSE called Securities Lending and Borrowing Mechanism. It is like how when you have a house or a car and you're not using it for say 2-3 years, you give it on
But
rent.
mortgage you are doing sometimes
It's
maybe.
no, someone is borrowing the shares from you for a month
Okay.
for some option strategies that they're doing, and then the exchange clears it and gives it back to you after a month. Me being a long-term investor, I have the stock with me. I don't care. I don't want to sell it, so I'm getting that extra income per share that I have. So if I have 1,000 shares and someone's willing to borrow each share for say 10 rupees, I'm making 10,000 rupees in a day.
Okay.
And I get the money on that same day where I punch the trade, and I get my shares back after a month. And all corporate actions stay with me, not the person who's borrowed. So if the company announces a dividend,
There is no risk.
there is no risk. Absolutely no risk. The risk is all on a broker like me, because today
And what is the ticket size? How much you deal with?
you can have I mean, we don't have a bias towards ticket sizes. We cater to everyone in our firm. We have people who are investing even 500 rupees a month, and we have people investing over 10 lakhs a month. There's no like there's no bifurcation in terms of service.
And this service can be done with any amount or anything?
Yes, even if you have one share and someone's willing to borrow 1,000 shares, you can put one share and it'll go at the price they want.
Okay.
So sometimes when I also have like, some of these companies are giving bonus shares, or some spin-offs have come and I have 2-3 shares of those that are just lying in my demat. And on the SLBM platform, I see that, okay, fine, someone's willing to borrow, say 100 shares, and I have only 2 shares, I give it. Even if I'm making 20-30 rupees, I don't mind, I just give it. Something better than nothing, like being in the broking industry, don't leave 1 rupee also. That's how it is.
अभी अगर मैं बात करूं, सो अलग अलग एज के स्टेजेस में आपका जो रिस्क एपेटाइट होता है वो डिफरेंट होता है.
Correct.
So if I talk about till 30,
Yeah.
25 to 30, there is a different risk appetite, and after 40 or after 50, there is a different risk appetite. जब हम 20 से 30 के उम्र के ब्रैकेट को जब हम कवर करने की कोशिश करते हैं, what is your usual suggestion that how much percentage money should go for the equity and how much should be on the fixed or something in a different aspect?
Okay, so when you're in the age group of 20 to 30, we tell you to have 100% in equity.
Okay.
And in equity also there are different kinds. There's large cap, mid cap, and small cap. Small
Yes.
cap being the most riskiest one. So at that age, we tell you to go at least 80% in small caps and 20% in large and mid caps, because you have time on your hand. You have the benefit of seeing multiple cycles in these small cap companies. Small cap company कैसे रहता है? कोल रहता है. कोल को हीरा बनने में टाइम लगता है. तो अगर वो 1000 में से अगर 10 भी हीरे बन गए, तो आपके सारा पोर्टफोलियो वो खींच के ऊपर लेके जाता है. वैसे होता है. That's how small caps function. And when you have time on your hand, why not?
Yes.
For a person who's above 30, between 30 to say 50, we give a mix of mid cap and large cap. Maximum.
But again, you are suggesting on equity market only.
Yeah. If you are above 60, say 50, 60, we move a little to balance funds that have a portion of equity and debt. And we also understand that you're in a phase of your life where you are in a wealth creation phase. That wealth creation phase is very important. After that wealth creation phase is over, that is by 55 something, that's when you're out of the wealth creation phase. पैसा बनाना था, जितना बना था अभी बना लिया है. Then you come into this phase of your life called the wealth preservation phase.
Okay.
जितना बना है उसको संभाल के रखना है. And I want to make some money out of it. That is when we start recommending bonds. We start recommending, some debt instruments, like some good FDs also. कि अभी पैसा बना है उसको संभाल के रखो. Earn some money out of it. इतना सब, you've put your blood, sweat, tears, sacrificed your lifestyle to earn this much. Now enjoy that money in terms of interest coming to you from that money.
Yes.
That's how we plan for people. So there are various categories of risk that if you have to put that way.
पहले के ज़माने में हमारे पास सेविंग के नाम पे सिर्फ एफडी हुआ करता था कि यू गो फॉर एफडी, आपका पैसा सेफ है, सिक्योर है. 8%, 10%, 15% से गिरते गिरते वो 4%, 4.5% तक आ गया है. सो एफडी इज़ नॉट ए प्रेफर्ड चॉइस. बट जब हम इक्विटी में जाते हैं तो आज भी जो पिताजी के उम्र के होते हैं या उस कैटेगरी के जो लोग होते हैं वो आज भी डरते हैं इक्विटी मार्केट के. उनको कैसे आप एड्रेस करते हो?
So see, they are not wrong feeling that way, because now back in the day वो लोग को एक सिक्योरिटी चाहिए थी. क्योंकि वो लोग ने ऐसे देखा नहीं है कि मार्केट इनके इधर पैसा लगाओ, पैसा डबल हो रहा है, ट्रिपल हो रहा है, या तो डूब रहा है. वो लोग ने सब देखा हुआ है. वो लोग को ऐसा लगता है कि दे ऑलवेज बिन इन द वेल्थ प्रिजर्वेशन फेज ऑफ देयर लाइफ, कि पैसा बनाया उसको संभाल के रखो, कि फैमिली संभालनी है, लॉट ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है, टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं थी तभी, तो देव नेवर सीन द काइंड ऑफ अपब्रिंगिंग दैट वी हैव सीन, टू वेरी पैरेलल लाइव्स. टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड, उनको हमें बैक हिस्ट्री समझानी पड़ती है कि अगर आपने तभी ये डिसीजन ले लिया होता तो अभी आपके पास कितने पैसे होते, आपके पास अभी भी टाइम है. यूजली पीपल रिटायर बाय द एज ऑफ 60-65. आप एफडी करो, नो प्रॉब्लम, आप एफडी करिए, आपको जो इंटरेस्ट का पैसा आ रहा है वो आप तरीके से इन्वेस्ट करिए ताकि आपको आपका घर भी चले और आपका आगे से वेल्थ भी क्रिएट हुए. तो यू हैव टू फाइंड अ बैलेंस इन दैट.
म्यूचुअल फंड सही है, गवर्नमेंट को कैंपेन के तौर पे लोगों को समझाने की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. म्यूचुअल फंड सही है. व्हाट इज़ गवर्नमेंट इंटरेस्ट on having a large volume in the mutual fund business?
So first of all, I have to give it to the government that mutual fund sahi has made my life very easy, because people who never knew of mutual funds now know of mutual funds, and they've got people like Sachin Tendulkar, Rohit Sharma, all these people vouching for it.
Yes.
And the government is doing this to inculcate the habit of, or the interest of, investing and making India grow, because only when public starts showing interest in companies does the market cap start growing. For example, if the demand for stocks start increasing, then the price also starts going up. When the price starts going up, for every share that I own, my value is also going up. When the value of all these companies start growing up, you can imagine the level at which India is making money. That's how much money do these companies have to spend on more jobs, on more systems, on more technology, and multiple more things that benefit the Indian economy at the end of the day. So if the retail investor is able to understand and grow, they are the reason why India is where it is. It's not the top 2%, 1%. It is just the people from B towns, C towns, D towns, and even F towns, you can say, like absolute low income people. They are the reason why India is growing. Because if you see, maximum of the sales of consumer products happen in these towns, not in places like Bombay and Bangalore, etc.
Yes, true.
The real consumers are not here in any metro city.
Yes.
So they want to make those people understand that save for a future, so that tomorrow you have the spending power to do more. You have the aspiration to do more. You have the money to have better education, to have a better life, to have better consumer, to become a better consumer. So that's why it is not for the government's interest, it is for the interest of the entire country. So I don't think the government is benefiting. They're in fact spending money on these things. They're not benefiting by hiring, personally benefiting by hiring Sachin Tendulkar and Rohit Sharma. I'm sure they don't come cheap also, to do ads like this. But it's for the benefit of the entire country, and I have to, it's such a great initiative that they've taken. It's hats off, to even think and have that vision. Because for us to reach that kind of people is impossible otherwise.
Now, when we go for any mutual fund to take or take under consideration, so there are a lot of NAVs that people don't understand majorly. And if we talk about any mutual funds to choose, then there are 1 year return, 3 years return, and 5 years return. There are 3 different categories. It always comes on the statistics. So what should be the right kind of a process to choose the right kind of mutual funds? Because there are a lot of mutual funds. If you talk about one company, they are also having thousands or hundreds of funds.
Correct.
So how to choose through that NAV or through their history? Because that is the easiest way a layman can also understand.
Correct.
Because maybe you don't understand the technicality.
Correct.
But you can understand that what is the return of last 3 years, 5 years, or 1 year. So what is the right process to choose the right fund for you?
So see, to do this, you first need to understand which kind of risk category you are in.
Yes.
If you identify yourself as a very risky category, then you go for these small cap mutual funds. And there's a very fantastic website which we use, I personally use as well, called Value Research.
Okay.
It is an Indian website which has every single mutual fund in India listed there in terms of their entire history and what they're doing, the kind of companies that they're investing in. Every single thing is available on that website. So when you're seeing these kind of funds, you have to see a couple of things. For how long has this fund been in existence? Who is the fund manager? What is the fund manager's track record? A little deep dive always helps. If you're going with a very good name, no problem. But sometimes you need to see that, is there a company that is performing better than that company? Is there a fund performing better or has a better track record? So of course these things also keep changing based on the fund managers technique of investing, etc. If you really want to start and understand, value research is the perfect place to go to. And first understand your risk taking appetite, then narrow it down, and then ask the website for help, because the website also helps you. That okay, these are the funds you're looking at, these are the competitors, and this has been their track record, and then you have a better idea to choose. For example, if a new fund is just launched and they're giving fantastic returns, but they've been in the market for only 3 years, compared to a fund that has been in the market for say 30 years or 20 years, they have a slightly lesser performance, but they have a track record of consistently performing that well. I would of course go for the one that has been there for longer, because today this company is there. What if they start facing a lot of issues and they don't perform as well as they're doing right now? Then I'm in trouble. But I know a company that has consistently been performing, even if it's 2-3% less, I would rather go for that.
Okay. Now, recent past, there was a news that Geo came with the BlackRock in the mutual fund.
Yeah.
And it is expected like they will disrupt the market or something, and they'll be coming up with a lot of technologies. And presently, in every industry, in every segment, there is a talk of AI. So, how do you understand this AI can change the mutual fund or the equity market in our country like India?
So see, AI will change the way that people study about mutual funds, not how they invest. So when you study about mutual funds, your AI will help you find a good match. But because our market is so dynamic, we need a human. I personally feel that you need some sort of human interface to guide you. Okay, fine. If AI is telling you this, have they considered these parameters as well? Because AI is also such, you need to teach it. You need to put in all the parameters in AI for it to be able to tell you something. And AI is moving very fast. It's able to identify good quality stocks, bad quality stocks. It's able to identify multiple, growth stories or slump stories. So AI will help you become a more aware investor. But at the end of the day, AI will not take the decision for you. AI will just show you, okay, this is what AI thinks technically based on the information available on the internet. The decision has to be yours. So yes, if Geo is coming up to disrupt the market, I won't doubt that it will. It has the potential, it has the power to do so. But we also have to understand that there are so many other people existing as well, so many other funds existing as well. How well will it be able to compete with these funds? And I'm sure these funds also won't just be stagnant where they are. They will also come up with something. They'll also come up with some new technologies, new things to plug and play. It's happening.
The major problem, if we talk about the company Reliance or Jio, whatever it is, they have the one power that is undoubtedly, that is the penetration. They have the reach to the maximum number of Indians.
Yeah.
And India is, the way you said, it is in the F market as well. They are the real consumer. So how you are reaching to those people to invest money on the mutual funds, that is a big question mark. Because if today I'm talking about, you find demat account holders that are having multiple demat accounts in different things.
Correct.
But the cumulative number is still very less. If we talk about 1.4 billion population in the country, and if I talk about the mature population, maybe 1 billion population are there, but you will be finding fraction of percentage in the stock market.
Correct.
Till time, after having lot of online platforms and whatever other things are there.
Yeah.
So how will you penetrate the market? That is a real challenge.
So right now,
The distribution.
Yeah, right now the penetration is happening at a very large scale. So COVID was one of the turnaround stories, because before COVID, just 2% of India was investing, or not even 2, less than 2% of India was investing in the stock markets. And even then the stock markets were so high. Then thanks to the likes of, these discount brokers, people opened a lot more accounts. So there were, I think, around 1 crore accounts in India. And after COVID, there were just, I think, 3 or 4 crore accounts in India. That's how fast it grew. And this penetration is bound to happen, because the education rate in India is multiplying. People are becoming more aware. They're getting more aware about their money. Everything is revolving around, okay, how much am I saving right now? Inflation is hitting this much. And of course, aspirations. If a family that lives in a hut in some village aspires that, someday I want to own a car. It won't happen by just them doing what they're doing. They'll have to push a little more, get someone educated. That person who gets educated understands that, okay, this is how much, this is how I need to plan. And to plan this, I need to earn this much. Then they aspire a little more. That aspiration in India is now becoming, it's blowing out of proportion, which is a very good sign for India, because everyone's aspiring to becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that's the phase in our lives, in our country which we are in right now, where people are, the penetration is happening to a very large extent. In fact, a lot of NRIs who are shying away are pumping in money into India.
Yes, true.
That's what's happening.
Now again, I'm going back to that IPO ball game, right? अभी रिसेंटली अभी सोशल मीडिया हमारे यहाँ पे बहुत कुछ नैरेटिव फिक्स करते हैं. तो अभी सोशल मीडिया में बहुत हंगामा एक चीज़ के लिए चल रहा है कि अभी देयर वाज अ स्टेटमेंट इन द CNBC TV 18 चैनल दैट वन एक्सपर्ट हैज सेड दैट अभी जो रिसेंटली IPO में जो चल रहा है विद द फाउंडर्स मेजरली एंड सो कॉल्ड टेक कंपनीज और टेक फाउंडर्स, इट्स अ कम्प्लीटली बुलशिट, बिकॉज इसकी कोई तवज्जो ही नहीं है, होना भी नहीं चाहिए, ऐसा उनका कहना है. और उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि इन दिस बॉल गेम they are just making money showing exaggerated or inflated valuation, listing in the stock market, founders are making money and the VCs are making money, and after that the stock get completely drastically it is get reduced or vanished. अभी उसके लिए एक एग्जांपल भी मैं अगर कहूँ तो पेटीएम की अगर हम एग्जांपल लें, सो पेटीएम उस समय एक बहुत बड़ा IPO था,
करेक्ट,
वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट,
करेक्ट.
उसके बाद जो वो गिरना शुरू किया, आज तक वो उसकी IPO लिस्टिंग की प्राइस तक नहीं पहुँच पाया in the long run.
Correct.
How do you see this scenario with all maximum founding companies?
So see, in this situation, there will be teething issues in our technology. Now, Paytm is something that other countries are doing a case study on how India managed to penetrate to even your coconut vendor outside is scan करके मुझे पैसा दो. What people are missing the point for Paytm, since you've taken an example, is that how much money circulation is starting now, how much taxes are being paid now. People are filing their returns. There's white money being circulated rather than cash.
Yes, true.
Paytm has disrupted the entire cash industry. If I, like Bangalore, if I remember being in Bangalore and asking them for change, they're like, sir, you have to wait for half an hour till someone pays us money to give you change. Otherwise, you just scan and you pay. So, these things are teething issues. Yes, it can take some time. It can take probably 10 years, 15 years, we do not know. But with the next generation coming, if these analysts are discounting the fact that the next generation is going cashless, I don't know how good that advice can be. Because tech companies, yes, they're inflating, they're playing foul by doing these things.
Yes.
Rightly so, because they've done these, whatever, they have built this company, they want some sort of exit, and everyone has some sort of nefarious intention to, get more money out of the public. But again, like I told you, public is public, they understand these things, and that's why Paytm's stock price is where it is right now. But again, it's difficult to say that it'll always remain like that. Tomorrow, if Paytm collaborates with some very big company, or tomorrow if Paytm goes international, who's stopping Paytm from tripling from where it is? Technology also, there may be 100 such companies which fail in the stock market, but if out of those 100, even one succeeds, it will set an example for all other 99 that failed to pull up their socks and start working in that direction. And it's just about time. It's a matter of time where one person proves that, okay, this is not the actual thing. We follow a correct path which actually benefits the people, and it's going to happen. I don't see technology. Yes, thousands of people will come, out of which 2 or 10 may end up succeeding, but they'll leave a legacy behind for everyone else who wants to join that business. In our times, not in our times I would say, but back in the day they had Infosys, TCS. They were the tech giants. They continue to be the tech giants.
Yes.
And they are still setting examples. And when Infosys started, it was started domestically in India.
Yes.
Now they have foreign contracts coming in. They have multiple things. So what's stopping the network of the current tech companies that are getting listed to not have that? To not be international, to have those set of clients, to have that kind of network, to have that kind of business. Nothing stopping them. Tomorrow, for all you know, Infosys may end up buying one of these companies.
Maybe.
That's
maybe.
You never know.
I have 2-3 different kind of queries. Number one, that कोई भी एक कंपनी है, जब आप कोई नौकरी करते हैं, जब आप कोई काम करते हैं, तब आपको सैलरी के तौर पे पैसा मिलता है, and that you spend. When you are doing business, till the time you are not making profit, you don't have any income. तो आपकी जो खाते में जो चल रहा है कि आपने इतना रेवेन्यू जनरेट किए या इतना आपका एक्सपेंडिचर हुआ है, दैट इज़ अ डिफरेंट पार्ट, बट हाउ मच प्रॉफिटेबल यू आर, दैट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. अगर कोई कंपनी प्रॉफिटेबल है, उनके लिए इतना जल्दबाजी नहीं होता है कि उसको स्टॉक मार्केट में जाके लिस्ट करना है. लेकिन जो कंपनी लॉस मेकिंग होते हैं, बाई टेकिंग VC फंड्स एंड बाई टेकिंग मनी फ्रॉम द इन्वेस्टर टू रोल ऑन, they are in a more hurry way to get listed to generate money out of the market. Is this trend right?
I don't think it's right, because at the end of the day, they may fool the public now, but once fooled, twice shy is the public. They understand that we've been fooled once, we're not going to be fooled again. So all other companies that are, even if they have a good intention, they will not face the same kind of growth as they should have, or they rightly should. So for example, if one company set a bad example, the companies coming after them doing the similar sort of business will face a tough time. It's not the right thing to do, but unfortunately this is what everyone thinks is right.
इसमें मैं 2 एग्जाम्पल दूंगा आपको. पहला एग्जाम्पल जीरोधा करके कंपनी है. दे आर मेकिंग हेफ्टी नंबर ऑफ प्रॉफिट बाय देमसेल्व्स. Their profits are coming near about 4,800 crore in a year. These kind of profits they are generating. So they are never shown any interest to get public or to be listed, number one. On the contrary, there is a company in that 10 minutes delivery, Zepto. They are generating funds, and now they have also given that red herring prospectus, so they will be shown listed. They are making the valuation bigger.
Yeah.
They are showing that we have a huge volume.
Yeah.
But they are loss making. So for this loss making company, they are on the hurry. That is the reason I am asking you.
So yeah, on the face value, it looks like that. Now, for example, Nitin Kamath was asked this question, that why aren't you going public? In one of the conferences that Kotak AMC had arranged in Bangalore, and his big answer was that I don't want to go through all the compliance.
Yes.
तुम करना ही नहीं है. तुम लोग करो, तुमको करना है, मैं उसमें इन्वेस्ट करूंगा, but I don't want to get listed. And I remember laughing at him because, yeah, right, you're making so much money. Why put more stress on yourself by getting listed? And he's part of all these forums, and he's like, I don't want to be. I want to focus on my money. I want to focus on my business.
Yes.
I want to focus on good ideas and grow like that. Listing जब होना होगा तब देखेंगे, but as of now, I want to just enjoy what I'm doing, because the minute you get listed, you're working on very strict timelines with regulators, etc. And I want to relax. I've made my money. I want to relax now. Why to be in that rut? It's also a matter of perception of the founder. Whereas Zepto is concerned, Zepto may be in a rush for an IPO, because they believe that once they get to the IPO stage and people invest, they will have more funds to grow and probably show better profits. So we have to also understand the reason why people come for an IPO. Why should I dilute the stake of my company? What am I benefiting out of doing something like that?
Yes.
Now, the base of these reasons are, one is growth. I want, if I'm a manufacturer, I'm buying new plant machinery. I want to probably set up a factory somewhere else. If I am a service provider, I want to hire better quality people. I want to hire people who can enhance my network. I want to advertise, brand, etc., etc. There are some people who probably have debt. They have a fantastic business, but they have debt. With the IPO funds, they will clear off the debts, and that intention is properly mentioned in their offer, in their DRHP as well, that these are the debts we have, and SEBI is aware that this is what they're going to do with the money, because they have to report all these things.
Yes.
It's very clear. So once they're debt free, then they can focus on actually doing business rather than continuously piling debt on.
जो कंप्लाइंसेस होते हैं लिस्टेड कंपनीज के, जैसे अभी रिसेंटली एक इंसिडेंस हुआ था जहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल जो चलाने वाले हैं, आई डोंट वांट टू नेम that company got banned from the stock listing because they had manipulated with the funds they were generating, and they are taking from the bank and they are utilizing in their personal uses, not for the things. So how this compliance occur in the stock market?
So there are reports that you have to report your every single department to the regulatory authorities, especially when you're getting listed. Because when you're getting listed, you have to understand that you're like a naked human standing in front of the government for them to see everything. And the minute you try to hide something, they'll be like, show me what's going on, show me what's there, show me what's there. And they have very very qualified people coming and doing your audit. It's not that they hire anyone like audit करके आ जाओ पैसा खा के आ जाओ. No, I have never seen anything like this. They are probably overqualified for the job that they have, and the government is hiring these people to safeguard the interests of the investors. Tomorrow, the government starts messing like this. People like us who invest in the stock markets will be the people who will be suffering, and then we end up blaming the government.
Yes.
So what they're doing right now with these strict compliances, at the end of the day, we have to thank them that it's going to benefit us only. That the more these people are put in check, the better quality companies are getting listed then. So these compliances, they have tax audits, they have compliance audits, whether you are complying properly or no, whether you have submitted your reports as asked by us or no, whether your advertisements are not misleading people. And they check. For example, I remember in my company we got a message from SEBI that in your Instagram handles you have to mention your registration number, you have to mention your broker number, everything needs to be mentioned. So people need to know that you're legit, not a finfluencer who's coming and giving gyan, free fund ka and buying Rolls Royces. You must have heard that story,
Yes,
right? Some
yes.
guy bought like one Rolls Royce from himself, and SEBI is cracking down on such kind of people because they're giving advice to people based on their goodwill with those people and then ruining those people's finances. And so it's in a way discourages the people who are actually looking to invest in the market. And for them then to spend money on Sachin Tendulkar and Rohit Sharma will be, it'll be a full contradiction if they don't do these things right.
There are a lot of companies in
Yeah.
tier 2 cities or tier 3 cities. They are doing advisory kind of business. Means they are giving calls to their clients for making money. So every day morning they are doing a completely bluff game that they are asking for this stock suggestion. They are giving suggestion and doing that. And there is no rules and regulation. They are doing it. They are making it. And after a long period of time, then SEBI may get into it, and there is arrest, there is ban, and
Correct.
everything. So how this to be regulated? Because there are lakhs of number of population, they are doing it.
So if you notice, when on the radio they announce any mutual fund also, even if a mutual fund sahi hai, there's one very important line कि इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफर डॉक्यूमेंट ढंग से पढ़िए, समझिए आपके साथ क्या होगा, क्या डिस्क्लोजर्स है, सब तरीके से पढ़िए. नाउ दे कैन ऑलवेज टेक द हॉर्स टू द पॉन्ड, बट इट्स द हॉर्सेज जॉब टू ड्रिंक द वाटर और नो. सिचुएशन ऐसा है अभी के द पीपल हु नाउ गिव एडवाइस, they have to undergo the NISM 10A and 10B exam. It is a level 1, level 2 exam to become a registered investment advisor as per SEBI. वो हो जाने के बाद वो लोग क्लाइंटों से चार्ज कर सकते हैं अपने एडवाइस के लिए.
Okay.
जैसे कि 2.5% पर एनएम या 2% पर एनएम, जो भी है ऐसे, या 1.5 मैक्सिमम अप टू आई थिंक 2.53 इज अ मार्केट एंड द रेगुलेशन ऑल्सो. यू कैन नॉट चार्ज मोर देन दैट to give advice and charge for advice. But वो लोग को अलाउड नहीं है ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए. वो लोग को सिर्फ एडवाइस देना अलाउड है, एग्जीक्यूट करना अलाउड नहीं है. सो आई थिंक 5-7 years ago वो लोग को दोनों अलाउड था.
Okay.
देन सेबी सेड वी हैव टू सेपरेट द टू. क्योंकि क्या होता था कि एडवाइज़र जो है क्लाइंट के खाते में सौदे मारना शुरू करता था,
Okay.
which was very wrong. So he said we'll separate the two. If you are you choose, they gave a timeline for everyone to choose, all the advisors to choose. If you want to continue being an advisor, be an advisor, and if you want to become an executor, give up your license to become an advisor. Choose now. So it is very important for every investor to understand that if you're putting your money via someone advising you and that person's charging you money, check whether he is a registered investment advisor by SEBI or no. There's a proper RIA license and there's a proper RIA code that is given to this person, which should be publicly put for all his investors to see.
In that regard, म्यूचुअल फंड में पहले कमीशन स्ट्रक्चर हुआ करता था, बहुत पहले.
अभी भी है.
म्यूचुअल फंड में there is a commission structure.
Yes.
Then why it is not getting penetrated that much?
It is, so see.
Because no one is voluntarily doing it.
It is being penetrated now क्योंकि to reach so many people, get the account opening process done, get them to select a fund, get them to invest, it's a process. So जिस तरीके से म्यूचुअल फंड SIP का रेट बढ़ रहा है, Right now, I think around 40,000 crore or 50,000 crore का SIP मंथली जा रहा है
Yes.
मार्केट में.
Yes. Yes.
पहले इतना नहीं था, पहले सिर्फ 10,000 था. तो 10 से 40,000 पहुंचना इज नॉट अ इजी टास्क. आज 40 से 80 कब हो जाएगा, विल नेवर नो.
Yes,
यू नो, इट जस्ट
true.
हैपन वन डे, भी अभी 80,000 हो गया है, एंड विल जस्ट टेक इट फॉर ग्रांटेड दैट यू नो इट्स नाउ 80,000. You never know how fast this thing is going to end up becoming, and the penetration is happening to a very very large extent. जिसके पास पहले पैसे नहीं होते थे खर्चे के लिए, अभी वो देख रहा है कि कहाँ से मैं खर्चा निकालूँ, कौन से मैं नया बिजनेस करूँ ताकि मेरा फ्यूचर सिक्योर हुए. That I'm earning a little more money to safeguard my future by investing in mutual funds or things, tools like that. Now, of course, there are competitors like LIC. Now, for me personally, I believe that LIC products are not the best for investors. You should not mix insurance and investing. Because
Yes,
LIC is giving
yes.
you 5%,
Yes,
6%,
yes,
and
true.
that your money is locked in for such a long time. Why do that? You know, like why should an investor do that? But the intention with which LIC started was very good. That they wanted to inculcate the habit of saving within the poor people. कि
Yes.
insurance भी हो जाएगा, थोड़ी safety भी हो जाएगी, और future में जाके you will have some corpus left for your family. But now Indian distributors, being Indian distributors, they said that if the commissions on LIC products are very high, कुछ I think 30% is the premium
Yes,
amount.
30 to 35%.
वो लोग बोल रहे हैं कि अगर मेरे को 30% कमाने तो मैं गरीब से क्यों कमाऊँ, मैं अमीर से कमाऊंगा, वही सेम चीज़ मैं अमीर को बेचूंगा और मैं वहाँ से पैसों. LIC, even though it had a good intention, unfortunately it was missold to the rich
Yes.
based on trust, etc.
Yes. Yes.
So I mean it has happened, but LIC is still a fantastic company. वो लोग सबको पैसा दे रही है, मतलब जिसका भी क्लेम आ रहा है, they're doing the right thing, they're following the due diligence, and they're doing well. You can see the reflection of their business in their stock price.
Yes.
You know,
true.
if the business is not doing well, the stock price also would reflect.
अभी की तारीख में ना एक बहुत बड़ा कंट्रोवर्सी चलता है मार्केट में कि इफ एनीवन इज हैविंग 3 करोड़ और 4 करोड़, will you suggest them to go for purchasing a property like in a city like Mumbai? 3-4 crore is a minimum amount that if anyone want to have a 2 BHK even in a suburb area, then 3 crore 4 crore is the minimum budget that they have to have.
Correct.
So if anyone is having 3 crore 4 crore of corpus, will you suggest them to go for a property, and will you suggest them to go for a rental and invest it in some way so that that money should grow in a different level?
So I want to first understand the intention of buying a property. So buying a property makes sense only in two situations.
Okay.
One is that either you're upgrading your current living situation and you're कुछ बड़ा अच्छा घर मिल रहा है तो उसमें आप मूव कर रहे हो, या सेकंड इंटेंशन इज कि आगे जाके कोई ना कोई तो उसको यूज़ करेगा. यू हैव द इंटेंशन टू यूज इट इन द फ्यूचर. बट इफ यू बाय अ प्रॉपर्टी एंड पुट इट ऑन रेंट, हाउ मच if you do the math,
There is nothing negligible.
You won't be getting more than 3%.
Yes.
And you should deal with the tenants, etc., etc. It's big headache. Your inflation right now, what the government tells you is that I think around 6%, 7% is the inflation. But there's one inflation that the government does not tell you about. That is your lifestyle inflation.
Yes.
आज मुझे लोनावला की ट्रिप था, कल मुझे I want to go somewhere out of the city, the next I want to go out of the country, and I want to keep going like this.
There is no bar.
end
Yes.
to lifestyle inflation. You have to, while buying a property, understand कि मेरे आज जो मैं इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहा हूँ आगे जाके ये यूज़ होगा कि नहीं होगा. अगर नहीं होगा, इफ आई एम बाइंग विद द इंटेंशन कि मेरे को रेंट पे चढ़ाना है, इट इज़ द वर्स्ट फॉर्म ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट. बट इफ यू आर बाइंग द इंटेंशन कि आगे जाके यूज़ होगा, तब तक मैं रेंट पे चढ़ाऊंगा, देन इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. बट द इंटेंशन शुड बी देयर टू मूव इन और have someone move in the future. Let's say your children will want a bigger space, they want to move there, or you are upgrading your space. But otherwise, it is a criminal waste of your money if you're buying property as a form of investment and thinking that the money will grow. Unless you are in the business of property, you understand कि ठीक है ये बहुत कम वैल्यूएशन में मिल रहा है तो ये फटाफट खरीद के कोई बिल्डर आ रहा है, कोई रहने आ रहा है तो उसको बेच देंगे. If you're not in that business, you can get very badly stuck.
Okay. Thank you very, very much for such insightful conversation. I hope a lot of people will understand multiple things about it. And thank you very much for giving us your time.
Thank you for inviting me here.
And what was your experience? How you find it?
So I think this is a very great message that people need to start understanding about money. That don't take money for granted. Don't take your future for granted. Because today you have money. Tomorrow in the future when you retire, income is going to stop. Are you prepared? to maintain your same lifestyle without income. Have you thought of it? Think of these things. Yeah.
So thank you very, very much for
Thank
giving
you.
us your time.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this was the podcast with Mr. Akash Gupta from Sykes Ray Equities Limited. I hope this podcast has given you a lot of insights regarding equity market और IPO का process कैसे है और क्या करना पड़ता है IPO लाने के लिए. I hope it has been also cleared through this podcast. So I'd like to request you to please subscribe this channel so that you can have all the updates from our end. And thank you very much for watching the podcast till the end. And finally, signing it off.